Hi, welcome back everyone. In this video I'm quickly going to share with you my Leaguestarter build and my plan for the first several days of the league. I will be playing this build live on stream, so if you want to join my journey, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Quick disclaimer, I haven't had time to playtest early mapping, so it's probably going to be pretty rough at the beginning, but with some investment the build will feel amazing. Originally I wanted to make Guardian General's Cry Holy Hammers build and scale it around new Halloween Flame, but for some reason GGG decided to make it as a charge on the enemy, which is going to be consumed by any allied hit instead of it being a stackable debuff. So it's basically going to be impossible to stack a lot of it. Because of it, I decided to ditch that idea for good old Pathfinder. My reason is pretty simple. Since there aren't that much new stuff for leveling, it would be better for me to play something comfy as Pathfinder while farming my initial currency and make some cool builds around new uniques and gems later. Why Pathfinder, you might ask? In my opinion, Pathfinder is the best Ascendancy in the game. Having Constance Flask is just too OP during the Leaguestart. 200% movement speed, almost max rest without any investments on the tree, crazy recovery, this is just hard to beat in my opinion. Combine it with leveling with Poisonous Concoction and you're going to have really comfy first build of the league. But this time, instead of going default pconc of Bouncy later, I decided to play something different. I'm going to be swapping into Blight of Contagion build. Those of you who play the build know that it's extremely hard to beat Blight Contagion combo when it comes to satisfying clear. Also, since GGG nerfed the items we get from the tree and gambling, there will be less people playing the breach, and I expect rares to be somewhat more expensive. So this is the reason why I'm going to be farming Expedition during the Leaguestart. Also, we now have a new Expedition Scarab, so running or selling logbooks might be extremely profitable. Okay, that's what I'm planning on doing during the Leaguestart. Now let's talk about the POB. I have several loadouts ready so that you can switch in the top right corner. Starting with first 12 levels, you can level practically with anything you want. I would recommend going with Cobra Lash, Withering Step and Sniper's Mark for some damage. Though wield any claw or daggers and try to get 2 Iron Ring. Then on level 12 we are going to start using pconc for the entire campaign or maybe even during some initial mapping. Link with Volley, Void Manipulation and Unbound Ailments. Swap Sniper's Mark for Despair and Shield Charge with some auras and you should be good. Take the passives in any order you want, as your damage mainly comes from the flasks. So don't forget to upgrade them whenever you can. For the first lap I will be taking Nature's Adrenaline for better sustain of the flasks, as I will be using Quicksilver and Silver Flask with Mana Flask as well. From Act 5 and onward, nothing really changes. Upgrade Volley to Greater One. If you manage to get 5 Link, Socket GMP here. For the second lap, get Nature's Reprisa for more damage and then Master Surgeon. Get yourself a Bismuth Flask if you can. Well, nothing is really new here and it's just the default pconc leveling. Now, after I'm going to finish the acts, I hope I will be able to afford or will get Blight of the Contagion from the lab myself. Then I'm going to unspec some unnecessary passive with the respect points we get from the campaign. Then, for the first upgrade, I will be buying Cane of Unraveling stuff. This is very common unique, which usually costs 1C during the Leaguestart, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem to get. Rest of the gear is basically life in the prefix and attributes, suppression or some resistances in the suffix. Since I'm going to be farming Expedition, it shouldn't be that hard to get this gear. Plus maybe the tree is not that nerfed and I will be able to buy the gear for cheap, as it was in the Keeper's League. Also, full set of self-crafted flask will be huge quality of life feature of this build. After that, the next upgrade would be 6 Link. Damaging setup would look something like Blight, linked with Control Destruction, Swift Affliction, Void Manipulation, Infused Channeling and Efficacy. For the auras, Malevolence for the damage, and Flashing Stone with Petrified Blood for survivability. Maybe Flame Golem for AoE and damage or Lightning Golem for the mana sustain. I don't know how the mana situation will feel, so this is the reason why I have Clarity with Arrogance as well. Then Contagion with as much AoE as we can get, and Withering Step. Despair with a Hex Bloom for spreading the curse, plus custom damage taken Immortal Call setup for big hits. And last but not least, Wither Totem setup for boosting the damage. But now you probably see the problem. Even with the 6 Link and all of the Wither stack, the damage is quite low. Having 700k DPS probably going to feel really bad. But since I will have some survivability with good recovery, I think I should be able to do bosses initially. If I like how the build feels, I will continue saving up currency while doing Expedition. I have a rough idea how I'm going to be improving the build. Replica Dragon's Fang for huge +3 levels of Blight, Tides of Time, Doppelganger, better rare items from the rock or the tree. Depending on the mana situation, I might swap Quartz Flask with the Replica Sorrow of the Divine and get Missing Suppress from the gear. Clusters are a big part of the damage, so I'm going to be self-crafting them as well. Large clusters are really easy to make just by spamming Aberrant Fossils, but it might be expensive this league because of the Dell change, so I might settle just for 2 passives. The mediums are Flask Duration clusters with Spike Concoction, Peak Vigor and Brewful Potency. It's also really easy to make them with Harvest Reforged Life or Attack. and a lot of 2-star Joes with life and dot multi. Well, this is it when it comes to my plans on Leaguestart. I hope the damage after swap will feel somewhat decent and I will be able to farm up some currency for the next upgrades. But if for some reason it won't feel that good, I can always respec back to the pconc and finish the atlas with it. If any of you have ideas how I can improve the swap experience or just some advice in general, feel free to share it with me in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it motivates me to make more videos with interesting builds later. If you want to follow my journey live, feel free to follow me on Twitch and join my Discord server. And I'll see you on the Leaguestart. Bye!